Thank you very much. Thank you for all of you attending and giving up your evening tonight, for the wonderful leadership candidates that are competing for this prestigious position to lead you, the Alberta Liberals, in the next election, and to govern and help give direction to our party. My name is Bruce Payne, and a lot of you may not know who I am. I'm a carpenter that kind of comes from the bedrock of Alberta. I was born here in Calgary about half a century ago, and then grew up here in Calgary, and then I actually grew up in many communities all around southern Alberta, primarily in Lethbridge. Started my trade as a carpenter there. Just so you know too, my family didn't just start a half a century ago in Alberta. My grandfather actually homesteaded at a lake called Payne Lake just outside of the Waterton National Park. And so my family's grown up with Alberta, and as many of you have. And so I've lived and worked all across Alberta as a carpenter. I've ran projects and worked with other carpenters building the backbone of Alberta, the infrastructure projects that are so important to all of us. I've helped build homes, schools, churches, universities. I was part of 3 projects at the University of Lethbridge, and I've worked on numerous projects across Alberta. I've worked in the oil field industry, a number of different things, but my life, I would say, is mostly marked by building. Building not just those projects, but it's also building lives. I was a pastor for a few years of a church in Pincher Creek and another church in Cardston, and I learned from those experiences essential things about the social needs of Albertans and the struggles that they face. And I believe that helped to shape me to become the leader of this Alberta Liberal Party. I also had spent a number of years working not just as a superintendent, but I've most recently been employed as a business agent for the Carpenters Union. I was elected as the president of building trades. The reason that I took those jobs and was elected to those positions is because of my conciliatory skill sets that I have, to be able to bring people together, different viewpoints, different angles of looking at things, and being able to work with corporations, the corporate world here in Alberta, negotiating with large corporations like the City of Calgary and ATCO Structures, just to name a couple of them. And working with those corporations, I learned what's really important for those businesses to be successful, and find the balance of also providing the needs of the people that I was representing. And we were able to find win-win solutions. The important thing about my skills is that I come from a natural base of interest-based discussion and negotiation. That's what gave me the tremendous strength in the world that I work in, and I believe that that's what will also give me tremendous strength representing this great party. What I hope to do or plan to do is, first of all, build 87 strong constituencies across the province. I aim to do that by drawing on the relationship that I've established in both the labor world, in the faith world, and also here in this room with the Alberta Liberals that are here listening to me, and right across this province. I believe that those strong relationships are going to be the catalyst for building a strong 87 strong constituencies. And I believe that then, at that point, we'll be able to bring forward a strong agenda on 5 key essential issues. No one knows for sure what's going to happen in the next election, what's going to be the #1 issue. Is it going to be health care? Is it going to be the PCs? What's going to be the big issue? I believe that we need to listen to Albertans, and it's 5 issues: health care, education, economy, environment, and
money.
Property rights.
Energy, environment, and education. Okay, healthcare, education, environment, energy, and the economy. And I believe that I have a plan for those things, those issues, and you will be able to see those, my plan released on my website in the next week. And I believe that we're going to build a strong party. And if you'll vote for me, Bruce Payne, and we'll build 87 strong. Thank you.
Where's the plan?
buddy.
Just give me a minute. I'm just going to take my jacket off. I'm sitting up here and it's quite warm and pass out. Right on. We got a doctor.
There you go. Roll your sleeves up and then get at her.
Get her down.
Since we have a bit of an expanded time here, I would like to start off with thanking all of you for showing up here today. I'm a big believer in democracy, and this proves to me that democracy is alive and well in Calgary. So that's a good first point of view. And also for the individuals that put this together, it's very, very important that we spread the message for everyone. So I'd like to thank you all for doing that tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I really do like to thank you also for showing up and allowing me this opportunity to speak to you. I'm the last candidate in the race, but I've been a member of this party for over 20 years. I believe Hugh's the only one that's been a member longer than what I have. So I've always been part of the grassroots of the party, and I've always participated. When there ever was a call for a by-election or elections, I was always there. I was always door knocking and always helping out. And I think that's where you learn how to grow a party, is at the door. You don't make a plan unless you've been to the door. But let me tell you a little bit something different about me tonight, something I've never spoke about before. I come from a family of 5 sisters, and I'm the only brother in the family. Now my father passed away when my youngest sister was 2, and my older sister would have been about 7, and it left my mom. And what we learned of is how to work together as a family. Even though I was the man of the family, my sisters ran the roost because there's 5 of them. But the biggest point here is that we're trying to make is, as we went along, we had a discussion in our house about politics. We never ever avoided it, but we always participated in the discussion. And I remember my mother saying at the time that she was always thankful that she had the Canada Health Act to protect her because my father's surgeries and that. And I always remember that going forward. So I can assure you tonight, and I'll assure you as we go down the path, that your health care will be guaranteed on the Bill Harvey administration. There'll be no question about that whatsoever, just from the personal part of it. So from our family, on both sides of my grandparents were both farmers. One was a dairy farmer and one was a fruit and vegetable grower and that. And being the boy with sisters, when school was out, you were sent to the farm. And you had no choice, you went to the farm. And I always ended up going to the dairy farm. And I'm telling you, you never lived until you rode behind a stooker on a day like today and building those stooks. It's dirty, it's hot, and the dust gets down your back. So I come from a working background. Let me assure you, I understand how hard it is to earn money, and I promise you that I'll be the best person to look after the money and how it's spent. But I need a favor tonight. We always got to have a favor when you're a Liberal. And the favor tonight is, I'm going to tell you, when I came to Alberta back in 1978, I helped my aunt and uncle move out here. This is the way we got here. I ran into my wife within the first month. And I'd be remiss to tell you that the best thing in Alberta was Marie. And so if you run into her across the campaign trail, because we will be bringing her out, please remember tonight that I mentioned her and said she was the best thing for me in Alberta. And you make my life so much different. As some of you may know, I am not a typical Alberta Liberal. I'm more from the dark side of our party, or as I refer to it, as the grassroots of the party. The Lawrence Decor Liberals, when being a Liberal, was actually taken serious by the voters of Alberta. I'm an Alberta Liberal who believes in liberty. I believe in an open, free, and tolerant society. One society that is socially and fiscally responsible. I believe government must be open and transparent, something that we haven't seen in the last decade of provincial politics, and especially under Ed Stelmach. I support creating our own provincial police force that would work with conjunction with the RCMP and local police services. It is time that the province took this step, as 2 other major provinces have done so and have a strong commitment to ensure the safe and secure communities that we live. Ladies and gentlemen, we have traveled across this province in the last 3.5 months, and we've spoken to a lot of Albertans. They're looking for leadership. They're looking for someone to step up, accept the challenges that are before us. And I made a commitment to them that we would be doing that. We would accept the challenges on health care, We'd accept the challenges on education. We'd accept the challenges on the security of our communities and the security of our children. It's a big province, and we have big ideas, but we also have to be able to accept these big ideas irregardless of what party they come from and who delivers them. The idea is to build the party and the government. Thank you very much.
Well, folks, would you agree there's a lot of talent on this platform? Yes. To the one While you're working on your red and your purple cards to turn in here in a moment, I'm going to call upon the Vice President of the Calgary Leadership Forum, James Maxim.
Thank you, Brian. Fellow candidates, this is a fun night. A couple of years ago, when Brian and I had an opportunity, and our friendship goes back about 35 years when we were going to the University of Calgary, we talked about citizen participation because both of us have been political hacks. We've also been politically involved at the federal level, provincial level, and the civic level. And we talked about the void that exists in our society. And what came about from that supper, that one evening, is now known as the Calgary Leadership Forum. It's a nonpartisan group of individuals from across the province of Alberta. It's basically made up of membership in the city of Calgary who have focused their attention on participating. All people are welcomed, all political views are welcomed, and we have people from all political parties representing the Calgary Leadership Forum. It makes for interesting times when we have our receptions or when we have events like this for the Alberta Liberal Party. We did it for the Alberta Party, and we'll be doing it for the Progressive Conservative Party in September. So we're actively involved, and we're focusing on the citizens who want to participate in the political process. Because the most important thing that we have fought for over the last number of years and throughout history is the act to vote, the opportunity to vote, and to have a say. And for many of us, that has been lost over the last number of years. And so by bringing forward the Calgary Leadership Forum and having our 1,500 members participating, we were able to put on events like this through the volunteer basis. And of course, volunteering always requires a dollar sign. And so we have memberships that are available for $20. We also have donations that are available that we'll gladly accept. And we are transparent, we're fully accountable for the dollars that we bring in. But the most important thing is that we're getting citizens involved in the political process. And they're having the opportunity to come to events like this and at the same time to participate and build future events and to talk about the things that we need in today's society in the sense that our political system must work for us. We don't work for them, they work for us and how we elect them. And through the vote, that bond of trust that we exercise on election days. So in the interim, when election campaigns are not going forward, we are available in the city of Calgary. We put on the various events. And so I'm asking you to participate. All you have to do is fill out one of these forms that you received at the front, or take it home, fill it out, think about it, send it to us, or fill it out tonight, provide the $20 that goes along with it, or if you can, become a citizen. If you give the $20, you can vote, so there's always a price to vote in today's society. But we'd also like to have your ideas. Membership also requires responsibility on your part to participate. And we'd like to hear what your ideas are. We'd like to hear what your comments are. We'd like to hear what your concerns are. Because by having that dialogue, and today we're in a fast world of sound bites, fast Twitters, we've got social media, all of these particular aspects. But the most important thing that we want to know from you is, what are your concerns? What are your views? What are your ideas? And so we welcome them, and we welcome your membership, and we hope that you will want to participate with us and move the political system along and to educate other citizens in the city of Calgary, as well as the province of Alberta and this great country known as Canada. Thank you.
Ushers ready with their to pick up the questions. Bastian, All right, so we've got a number of baskets here. They're just going to come past quickly. No need to throw any money at this time. Just questions, please. We're going to take a 15-minute break, ladies and gentlemen. Your chance to meet the candidates, your chance to use the washrooms, and your chance to mingle and visit and network. We'll see you all in exactly 15 minutes. Make sure you get your questions in.